Okay, it is day 4 of reading Revelation differently. This is us looking at the chronologically connected accounts of 7. Today we're looking at the firsts, right? So that we start with the first letter to the first church. It's written to Ephesus. It says, hey, I'm grateful for the works that you're doing, for your patient endurance, for the testing of the saints, but this I hold against you. You have lost the love that you had at first. Now, I command you to get that back in place, or I'm going to take your lampstand from you. But for those who conquer, I'm going to give them some of the fruit of the tree of life. And then we step into the first seal broken. This is directly after Christ comes forth as a lamb who was slain. So this is depicted as right after his resurrection. And the first thing set forth is a white horse with a rider with a crown and a bow that goes out to conquer. Over and over again through the letters of the church, they tell them, conquer, conquer, and I will give you this, right? And so we see, from my perspective, this is a depiction of either Christ himself or the body of Christ going forward directly after the resurrection and conquering, sending forth the gospel, right? We have a bow. It's the only long distance weapon that sends things out. So we see the gospel going forth before we have the famine, before we have the war, before we have the death, the following three, right? There's this initial conquest, this initial conquering of the world for Christ. And then we jump into and we see that the next section is, hey, this first trumpet is sounded and hail and fire mixed with blood falls upon the earth, burns a third of the trees, a third of the green plants, and all the green grass are burned up. And I think there's a case made here that this is a refining fire. We see in Zechariah 13, when he's prophesying about the coming of Christ, he talks about, hey, 2/3 of these are going to be cut off and departed, but a third is going to be kept, and they're going to be refined by fire. They will call on my name, and I will be their Lord, right? And I think that you also see something really interesting further down, and the fifth trumpet is blown, and the locusts come out from the bottomless pit. Christ says, hey, do not harm, the exact same phrasing, any of the green plants, any of the trees, or any of the grass. The grass was all just burned up, but don't harm those, but only those without the seal of God on their forehead. So there's this contrast between all of this green and those without the seal of God. And then we see finally, my perception is, hey, this is refining fire. This is something to regain this love, right? Burn away what's old. It's mixed with the blood of Christ himself, and to cleanse the people and move forward. And then finally, we see the final bowl poured out, and it's poured only on those with the mark of the beast on their forehead. So it's a final separation, boils break out on them, and it's to separate those who truly have the love of God and those who do not. And I think what's interesting is when we look at Laodicea is neither hot nor cold. He's going to spit them out of their mouth. And what he counsels them to do is do two things. Buy white clothes, which we see over and over again in Revelation, depicts those who truly are of God, and buy gold refined by fire. So give that some thought. I am not a trained scholar, so take it or leave it. But anyway, bye.